And so we're gonna continue to see Skittles and Skar on blue. Onin, Onin's team on red.
All right, they're hopping right into the game. Skittles, Skar, Onin, BooBear. Grand final starting right now. Skittles and Skar coming from the loser's side, so they have to win not one but 2 sets if they want to be a Sweet Spot 7 doubles grand champions. Onin and BooBear have a little bit less on their stock as they just need to take 3 games, without losing 3 games.
Right. And their game plan is just so much just has such a faster pace than the other teams, right? Like at the start, it looked like they were getting control of the stage, but percents tell a completely different story.
Oh, for sure. And Skar tried to use finishing touch, but got it interrupted by one of the fastest buttons in the game, Rob down tilt. Untimed.
Wait, down tilt?
Rob down tilt.
Rob. For some reason I was thinking Steve down tilt. Like that little campfire? Is he an honor equal status?
Yeah, that would be crazy, but oh wow, Skar taking the block, so not gonna fall, but falls to the magma block will actually be his demise.
Unfortunate, because his teammate looked like he was about to get a good kill, but his conversion didn't lead to stock count. Luckily, like once you get them to that percent, right? Hit him with a sword normal. He'll die eventually.
Yeah, matter of time. And blue team will actually take that over. They didn't get the first stock, but they got red team pretty much at the same time. So they built a little bit of advantage, but here we are back at even.
Right. And the thing is, even with like a little bit of advantage, you want like a solid stock lead against Steve, right? Because this is Steve. Steve still has what, wooden tools right now?
Yeah, hasn't even mined a diamond yet.
And so.
Ooh. Here goes the back air. Very juicy, very meaty from Skar there.
And so hopefully they can keep this stock lead. That's a substantial lead against Steve.
Yeah. And you can see Onin, he may be searching to try to take the stock from Skar here on the other side, but somehow he's just getting walled out and not able to find the big kill moves. Ooh, I love that little ping pong back and forth Skittles and Skar there did with the limit blade beam. Man, oh, go ahead.
Oh, Skar trying to punish that down throw, but nope.
Nope.
Rob down throw.
Psych. Oh, and the block in the perfect place to save Onin from losing his last stock there. But
Bear's lucky.
Yeah, Barry's still dire straits, so ends up falling to the next back air that connects.
Right. Wasn't able to completely change his fate. And now he's stuck by himself.
Wow, this has gone in a way that I bet Onin nor BooBear expected, as blue team looks in position to take game 1. I mean, blue team's dropping some stocks here, but they're on a fresh 2v1. It's going to be really hard to lose that.
Right. So they just need to, like you said, the kills will just come, and they are, both of them have like the tools to just not have to interact with Steve too much, so they don't have to worry about losing their stock. And untouchable.
Yep, there we go. That settles that. Oh boy, yeah. Singles is roaring behind us. Morley most definitely a crowd favorite. I don't know who he's going against, but
yeah,
it's a hot set.
For a while, I was like, dang, we really getting into doubles. Then I took it around and was like, oh, different set.
Yeah,
that's fine. But we're watching doubles.
Yeah, we're watching doubles, and you guys are watching doubles too. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, that's not a stream setup.
Yeah. All right, so I mean,
wait, singles haven't even started yet? Oh, melee singles. I was about to say, like,
okay.
is that not even a...
Yeah, that would be wild.
One time we went to a tournament and Anua and Toffee were playing a friendly, and we were louder than the Mortal Kombat top 8 on the other side of the room.
Good to see it. Like I said, you love to see it, actually.
We all love Smash here.
Indeed. It really brings me back to...
characters on this.
Yeah, but it brings me back to the other sweet spots. You know, that was just a common sight. You would see just like half the venue gathered around one setup, cheering on whoever's playing.
That's the fun of these more regional events. Like, it's more personal.
Oh, for sure.
Right. And so right now, it's the same thing for like this double set, right? Right, like any other tournament, right? It's like, oh, there's a Steve on screen, like, you know, we're gonna root against Steve because Steve is a villain. Like, it's not just that. We're rooting for our hometown.
yeah,
Right?
rooting for hometown.
It's a little bit more personal than just like, you know,
Character I like versus character I don't like.
Yeah, because I don't like the characters on the screen. But I like the Midwest.
Yeah, so let's go gaming.
Yeah, and even I don't like them. These are all very different, very good characters, and you know, they made a game with 80, like over 80 characters. I'm not gonna like all of them, but I'm glad at least like they're all interesting, and you know, we've gotten to see a lot of very different doubles matches.
Yeah, and oh man, we're starting this game pretty much exactly how we started game one, where blue team lost the first stock, but then blue team kind of conjoins together and takes red team both of their first stocks simultaneously.
Yeah, I think even though I talked about like, oh, when you're against Steve, right, like building up like that percent lead doesn't even matter. Like, I was completely wrong.
Well, unfortunately, that finishing touch connected with Skittles and eviscerated his stock.
Like the rare imprecision from blue team.
Yeah.
But right now, it's not going to cost them because if the percentages still matter, they do have a lead, and now they have a stock lead as well. So
yeah, and Onin is living on his last legs. One more Cloud back air will probably seal it. Speaking of Cloud dash attack.
Yeah, good anti-air with a dash attack against Steve back air.
Oh boy. So we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of this match. Red team has to play very good double smash here if they want to stay in this game.
Yeah, luckily it was able to close with a very good edge guard sequence by Rob.
Yeah, but Onin really getting worked here, getting pressured. Like, what's so insane? We're in game two, like near the end of game two, and he still hasn't pulled a diamond.
Yeah.
It just hasn't happened, but he did pull a Skar stock super early, and so does Skittles.
I think the crazy thing for me is like Steve doesn't even need better tools. Steve is just broken from the get-go, and that's important in doubles, like, you know, like we were seeing, right? Doubles, especially against a team like this, you don't get the chance to get your better tools. So luckily your wooden and stone and iron tools are still very good, and we're able to almost completely reverse this situation.
Yeah, I mean, you still have BooBear in a pretty difficult situation that even in singles, you don't really want to be staring at a Cloud at 153%. Oh boy, it's Skar doing the dance of the demons, goes for the limit. No, I forgot the name. The clip is ruined. Climb hazard. It's ruined. It's over. I'm sorry.
Just edit over it.
Yeah, just edit it. And the limit climb hazard. Just cut it right there and put my audio. You guys got it.
Yeah. And so I think going into this, right, even if Skittles and Skar win the next one, they still have an entire other set to work with. So I think Onin and BooBear have a lot of time to, you know, get some stuff figured out or get as warmed up, start playing as hot as the other team is, right? And so it is Skittles and Skar's hill to climb.
Yeah, I mean, it's looking like they could clean up this grand final reset with the clean 3-0 and then find themselves 3 games away from coming home champions.
This blue team's tag, do they have some kind of meaning together? Because all the other teams, like, you know, like the shapes, the solid or hollow, and then just like, oh, our names rhyme, and they're just like,
nope. Well, they're just using the tags they would use in singles.
They're just like, I need this tag for when we play singles later on the stage.
When I'm doing my top 32 qualifier, so.
And it looks like BooBear switched to Samus. My guess is the thinking here is just Rob's. The one weakness Rob's are allowed to, I'm not allowed to argue against, is that Rob's big, and you are in doubles where
this is true.
There are a bunch of fast sorties, fast big buttons around, and projectiles, and so potentially Samus gives them access to like faster, more consistent horizontal pressure.
What happened to BooBear there?
I think stuck in the up B, something hit him into the block, and then the block did the state, did like the weird stage spike thing.
Yeah, did the rest of the dirty work.
Not where I expected him to go.
Yeah, I mean, like, imagine you just get hit by Link up B and then your stock's gone. It's like, wait, young Link up B doesn't kill. Why am I dead? Oh, that is a big forward air from Onin, stealing the stock away from Skar.
Yeah.
Skar, who's usually kind of the stock tank, the rock for this team, is already at his last stock.
Because just before that, I was wondering, like, this stage trick doesn't feel good for them because Cloud's just going to kill you with backer there. And then Onin's like, nope, I'm going to kill backer.
My aerials are stronger.
And they're only getting stronger.
Yeah, they only get more powerful,
Right.
but...
But on this respawn, he's about to get gold.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, blue team did the thing where they lost the stock individually, but then take the opposing team stocks at the same time. I don't know how they keep doing this.
The way they do it, there's just good smash happening.
Yeah, it's just the flow. They have the flow chart down. It's almost like, I don't know. They have a lot of synergy together, and you can see that it just oozes off of Skittles and Skar's play. Oh, and there goes the limit. Cross slash goes straight through the wooden block. Not gonna save Onin this time.
Yeah, it just has to hold that. Just has to hold the fact that this is a reset.
Yeah, and big ups to Skittle. He went from being like the aggressor, the I don't know what you would call probably like the opener, to shifting over to the stock tank. When he saw that Skar was at his last stock, he was like, don't worry, I'll hold on to these, I'll start shooting fire arrows. And he did exactly that, and now they're in this position where they have a 2v1 against Onin.
And this is pretty good. This is pretty similar, I feel, to when we were watching Giga and AK, where you just have the projectile character provide, like, that's like kill percent provide support while your other teammate goes in. But fortunately, pop the gun on limit slash fast, and he didn't have to pay for it, but his...
Yeah, but luckily, this is probably the 1v1 that you want more specifically. I know for
say that, but Diamond?
Diamond does make everything different, but it feels like it's just one back air away, so Skar can't get too antsy. Just has to play the game carefully. But Onin knows his win condition. It's literally anything that Steve can press. But there goes the limit cross slash, and we got a grand final reset.
So, going for the reset.
Yep.
Makes you look very strong on paper.
Of course.
But we just watched that last time.
Yeah.
It's so much closer.
Yeah.
And now they have to win another set.
Yep.
So I'm hoping. Well, I shouldn't hope because I want us to win. But you know, the part of me that's enjoying this wants to see this game be closer.
Oh,
so
for sure.
even if that set was a blowout, this set, you know, maybe it'll be more of a deal breaker.
Yeah, you know, maybe red team has finally gotten ahead of steam and will put out a lot of blue team success. But I mean, even though it was a 3-0 and a handshake for the reset, it ended up like, I don't know how it ended up. It really doesn't tell the story, as most of the games were close. Oh yeah. Most of the games were close, and really they could go either way. It came down to 1v1s in 2 of the games, surprisingly, and you know, Skar just kind of clutched it out.
Right. The thing is Onин's the only PGR player on there, right? Or is...
Yeah. I think Skittles may have cracked top 150. I don't know about Skar.
Yeah, so if it keeps going down to 1v1, up there is Skar. So, and that's the team that has been slowly making this look more in their favor. So
for sure. That was weird. Rob literally had blocks spawned inside of him.
I guess this makes sense. Sure.
And speaking of, BooBear's back on Rob. The Samus was short-lived.
Yeah, I think that last game, I don't think the Samus really did much. I think it's mostly just this stage was better for them.
Yeah.
So I think kicking to the stage, but going back, reneging the character swap. I think was the smart thing. Skar electing to just knowing that he was dead, just to die so that we can get to his teammate quicker.
For sure. I'm really I'm really liking the play from Red Team here right now. They're finding themselves in the lead, and that perfect follow-up there from BooBear really puts Blue Team on notice.
That's why you say things change so fast, right? You could be like, oh, I'm in a recovery situation, I'm so far away, and I can't do anything. Like, oh wait, I'm in the position to close it out right now and give us the lead.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my teammate hit a straight nair. Time for me to follow up and absolutely take this stock. Ooh, that big old back air. Since Skittles careening, and there goes the TNT setup. And now Blue Team's just kind of swinging for the fences as they're both on their last stocks and have only accumulatively taken one from Red Team.
Steve on gold, very strong. And I think we've been watching Onin slowly be able to accumulate more resources in time. Right? You're almost like watching like a speedrunner session of just like you're like, oh, reset. Okay, this time so this time we're just going to complete my gold timestamp faster.
Yep. Oh boy, and there goes the big back air connecting once again. It has taken a many a souls, and Skar has been added to the list. Oh,
Got there. How did he get back?
Skittles is so crafty with his recoveries, but
right. Both these characters are very good at edge guarding juggling. Like I'm surprised he lived that.
yeah, but unfortunately it is as good as wait. Okay, is BooBear just gonna be like, no, Onin, you just play a two-stop game against Skittles?
With like Steve, like look at the Steve with like gold and diamond. I would much rather bet on
Onin winning the 1v1. Yeah, and the powered minecart. Yeah, even if Skittles took the stock, it's like, yeah, playing against a fresh Steve stock is gonna be crazy.
Yeah, fresh
with
Steve
diamond
stock with full resources, everything you would ever want.
Yeah, a great game one for Red Team to start, but Blue Team put on notice they're gonna have to answer back, or things may slip away from them.
So, Blue Team looking at a potentially different stage. We're gonna totem your island.
Totem your
On his retirement.
Yeah.
He retired, so that way we by a farce. In Wild World, don't you get like a letter, or sorry, from I can't remember if it's Wild World or New Leaf. You get a letter from the auction. They're like, hey, that was supposed to be me. I don't care.
I wouldn't know, but sounds about right. Oh, are we going FD? Omega FD?
Omega Midgar?
Omega Midgar.
I thought this was like.
Huh?
I thought this was normal Midgar.
That'd be funny.
Did you ever play? Like in the items meta, like online, like the one like half of a year where AlphaRad opened like his server?
Oh no, I never.
Yeah, Midgard was one of the legal stages. It's very funny.
That's hilarious.
We're just on FD.
Yeah, just on
and it's a dark FD, and I can barely see.
Yeah.
Projector screen, but it's fine.
Yeah, Skittles and Skar are just so edgy. They gotta have the backdrop of the night.
Their edgy sword characters versus their Scrimblow Nintendo characters.
Yeah, Scrimblow Bimblow.
Versus edgy McSword guy.
Yeah, but right now things are flowing a lot better for Blue Team. The untechable limit cross slash being the first way that Skar will take a stock.
Yeah, first stock, you're just seeing a lot more of like clean play, clean passing their opponent back between each other.
Yeah, and these two, they are very good at avoiding kill options. I say that, and the magma block comes out
First.
just to prove me wrong.
But yeah, like switching to FD, they're like, oh, we don't like let's not worry about platform layouts or anything. Let's just play the game.
Yeah. Let's try to normalize and play Smash Bros as much as we can.
It just feels like red team is getting smothered by blue team's butt.
Yeah, and wow, another limit stock take from Skar there, this time with the climb hazard. Oh, they're unable to get that confirmed together. BooBear tries to swing the uppie again and just misses. Skittles able to recover, but Skar not so much.
But still technically like stocks. I think it's just gonna whether BooBear or Skittles die, or maybe even Onin. Looking at Onin's movement, it's probably going to like determine what the pace of like the second half of the match is like.
Yeah, I always like this position where you have lopsided stocks, but the total stock count is the same. It really makes one team's game plan a lot more simpler, but because of that, blue team had the right counterplay. Skittles just plays avoidance while Skar cleans up, and now red team is on their last stocks.
And so it looks like they're continuing with the plan of just like have Skittles just kind of stall out and just waste time for them. Maybe like get a combo going. But 188. I don't think I've seen BooBear's Rob with up to 188 his entire doubles. That's crazy.
It's insane. It's like you get these super high percentages in doubles because of great team play. You know, you have like that support player that can save your life, but also take one as Skar ends up bringing the climb hazard down on BooBear's head, and they stock trade. Insane. And this has been an exciting grand finals for doubles, and this is only the second game of the reset. Wow. A clash in midair there. Onin just really fighting for his life, but I don't know how long that'll last.
I think if he was able to close out Skittles there over on the right side of the screen, it probably would have been a lot better, but yeah, I'm really glad, because in my head I was manifesting like, what if after they won the first game, like what if red team just like, and then it didn't happen. Like, okay, now I can talk about how I was thinking that, because I was obviously wrong.
Yep, and we're gonna play the game again of did you peep the results screen? Skar took all 6 stocks. Party poppers in chat.
Yeah, I think especially like when you because don't like spend a lot of time at high percent, and so we gotta play that not just like a support role, but kind of like a bait role. And then while Skar just, you know, goes to town on continuing their win condition. So game 3 is the swing for the set. Onin counterpicking to Steve.
Yeah, I mean, I like that they're just trying to mix it up. There's nothing more than like it's a little bit of a pet peeve when, you know, players are having a tough time on a stage. Maybe it is close, but they just don't even experiment with stages. Like, we have a stage list for a reason. Let's not run it back to PS2 for the 15th millionth time.
At this stage is very good for what's it called, for Steve, being like how big it is, and that it's a stone stage. Please don't tell me that he can fine against the wall.
He probably can. It feels so, Callus feels so unfair for characters that have super massive kill power but are heavy enough where they can abuse that there's like large blast zones. Oh my gosh, Skar still hanging in there, able to climb hazard back to stage, feet on the ground. Skar somehow survives.
And now at like 178, it's Rob and Steve. Wonder how that happens. And like you said, the reason that happens is the team plays.
Yeah, Skittles able to keep red team at bay while Skar kind of does a fancy little like wall jump to survive. I mean, If BooBear was there, that was not going to go through. But speaking of going through, that down air taking Skar stock.
Yeah, but you're like, let's give away your stock because I'm about to rob them.
Yeah.
To rob the rob.
Rob to rob. Oh, the double back air hitting both members of red team. Both Skar and Skittles are really on one today.
Yeah, especially like considering like they got knocked to loser by a team that didn't even make top. They didn't even make top 4.
Yeah, they didn't make top cut. They didn't find themselves in this best of 5 scenario, but you know, it seemed like that's exactly what Skar and Skittles needed. They just needed that head full of steam to come and dethrone these giants.
Right.
But on the other hand, there's a reason I'm calling red team giants, because they pretty much swept through all the other competition and now they're fighting a fierce opponent and things are starting to crumble. But
yeah, and if they don't close out on Rob, they're gonna have to. Red is gonna have like a really nice lead here.
Yeah, I mean, red team, they've managed to create something good here as they have a stock lead and catches Skar like slipping.
And both these characters able to just kind of like stall the game if they need to. Rob, like flying into the air to just essentially bait someone to wait for him to land. Steve hiding behind a wall trying to bait someone to go take care of him.
Oh, that was a little bit spooky. Luckily, Skittles is at a low %, but Skar tried to go for the classic finishing touch follow-up, but didn't get it. But the minecart actually stabbing BooBear in the back, but he's not going to lose the stock just yet. And both teams are playing so well. Like, red team just refuses to lose their stock, but this may be their downfall, as we may have a classic blue team taking both stocks of red team simultaneously. But no, the Anvil has something different to say.
Oh. Did blue team have a lead at some point? This is crazy.
Yeah, and I really kind of like that forward thinking from Onin there. He just, ran it off and took BooBear stock because they were both at super high %, and he was like, I could at least get at a low %,
right,
and play a lot more forward, leading to that situation where Onin and BooBear find themselves up 2-1.
It's been back and forth so far this set, so hopefully we'll be able to come up with something to kind of swing it back the way, at least for like the next game.
All right, we're as good as golden as we're going into game 4. Onin BooBear at set point. I keep wanting to call him BooBear, but
BooBear?
Yeah.
Red bear, blue bear, one bear, two bear.
And we're Susan over here. Oh, we're back on small battlefield, familiar grounds for blue team here. As this
I think like wasn't like after games on this one.
Yeah, all of set 1 was here, and well, actually no. I think game 3 was on Town and City, but most of set 1 was here. So yeah, it makes sense that they would counterpick here.
So in game, Steve's the most untouched, which is not really what you want to see.
Yeah, you really want to start putting pressure on Onin because he will put pressure on you. But I mean,
or if he doesn't choose to put pressure, he'll just start working towards his win condition.
Yeah.
He has a lot of options, and the only way you keep him from having all those options is just make sure that you have the lead. So that way you force him to do maybe not what you want him to do, maybe not what's the best, but at least you're taking some control, because right now things just look even, and it's only going to get worse.
Yes, indeed. But Man, Skittles was moving a little bit. I mean, he was getting up tilted by Steve as soon as I started talking, but he was moving because he's doing this thing where he is approaching one member of red team and then immediately flicking back and wave bouncing one of his projectiles at the other member. And it caught Onin and BooBear off guard for a solid 30 seconds and caused the situation we have here now.
Yeah, that's the strength of being like the fastest character on the screen right now, both at like multiple ranges. Just gotta do whatever you want.
Yeah, just kind of sauce up, you know, utilize the tricky movement, make sure that red team is always on their toes and having to track you. That's how blue team can find themselves coming out on top. But Onin, on the other hand, of course, not going to go down without a fight. He has a name to uphold, and
Right.
Onin is for sure proving his mettle right now. I mean, so is BooBear. He's most definitely not only just holding his own, but he's had his moments. But speaking of moments, it's the finishing touch that puts Skar on the board.
So slight lead. More, and so a slight lead for the you see Skar starting to hang back a little bit now that they have the lead.
Yeah, and when you say slight lead, you mean very slight, as you know, Skar is on razor's edge. You know, if one of those big Steve aerials connect, it could be last stock for everybody.
Yeah, and that's when it becomes important to play especially safe, so that way you can make sure that you keep that.
Yes, yeah, this is all true. Oh, I love that crafty recovery from Skar. And meanwhile, you got Skittles cooking up a heater, but there goes the up smash. Oh boy, so this is really coming down to the wire. Red team really wants to put it away here, but blue team will struggle, fight, and try to achieve victory by any means.
Yeah, it's so hard with he has. I mean, he's gone now.
Yeah,
he has so many resources. Like he has the threat to snowball super hard, and so we almost saw like him turn the situation in their favor.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, the classic Skittles.
The Skittles bomb.
Yep. That recovery super sneaky. It's just one of the ways that Skittles is making himself unpredictable. And there goes the forward air to close it out. We have a game 5, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, so this is for everything.
Yep, all the marbles on the table.
Yeah. People are definitely not crowding around singles anymore.
Yeah, this is gonna be the hottest of hot sets.
So last stage decision of this entire doubles bracket.
Yep.
Could see return to some of the ones we've already done, and yep, we're going back to town and city.
Oh boy.
So wooden stage for Steve, bit of a weird stage for Steve, but I feel like in doubles you're not doing as much of up airs as you would for guys would be. So like using up your abs isn't as important as using up your forward air and back air, which is you know, especially like on town and city, what you're going to be going for a lot.
Yeah, it's those little things that you do kind of have to consider when you're playing Steve, but sometimes you really don't need to consider it, as you just kind of swing the big aerials and win the game.
Sometimes they decided for some reason to let you start with iron, and then you just get iron tools at the start and immediately start filling up. Why does he have diamond already? Oh my
The
God.
luck is insane. Oh wow, and BooBear is gone just like that. So much has happened in such little time, but blue team still thrive.
I was busy being mad at Steve, and then on the other side, I'm like, oh, Onin going for resources cost him his teammate. But
Yeah.
with Diamond, he took an enemy kill pretty quickly. So worth it? Question mark?
Yeah, footstool anvil is such a strong option.
Has like 3 pieces of iron to do it with. Oh wow.
Nice. Okay, Skar hanging on by a thread to that F smash.
I had no belief that he was alive.
Oh, we're pulling out freaking down throw Robs. We haven't seen it since 2 sets ago.
Because you have two players that have had such clean gameplay, good movement, that's like when you're gonna grab.
Yeah, when are you gonna get a grab, and when are you gonna get a grab where Steve can run up and actually follow up in time?
Right. Steve's weakness is that without minecart, he doesn't have the best movement. Oh, sneaky recovery from Skittles there. Very important.
But you know, recovering to stage is at the last of his worries as blue team is down 2 whole stocks.
Right.
Yeah, the diamond tools at the early onset of this game really just shifted it in such a big favor. Oh my goodness. Onin.
And not just Onin, over there on the other side, BooBear got the classic gyro up smash ledge trap.
Yeah, this is insane. It's just like a switch was flipped and red team became undefeatable as they said, unless you can take stocks in 30 seconds, you're gonna fall behind very quickly.
Good conversion there.
Wow, I mean, like this, unfortunately for blue team, this has like a less than a % chance of Skittles making this comeback, but.
But if he keeps staying being this annoying to catch, right, he might be able to get something.
Yeah,
right? He hasn't. I don't think he's. All he's taken is like very small stray hits. Like they have not been able to get anything substantial.
Oh my goodness!
Instead, they're getting substantial stuff on their teams. All right, they're like, I'm just gonna let the PGR player 1v1 again.
Yeah, it was funny. BooBear ended up getting killed by his teammate, and he was like, "I'm just gonna keep my hands off the controller. You got this."
I'm just like, "Oh, you want me gone that bad? Okay." I'm like, "You think you can win this on your own?" I mean,
yeah, go for it.
Right? Sure. I'll chill. I can save some energy for my singles bracket.
Yeah, and this is gonna be a test for Tanner Skittles, as he has fallen to Steve's before, but he's also had massive victories over Steve. So he really has to summon everything he has to come out on top. Yeesh.
Very good sequence.
Wow, just barely avoiding all the aerials. Onin and low resources, but there goes the back air. And they close it out. Onin and BooBear finally take grand finals doubles of Sweet Spot. It's been a ride.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to be here for the entire ride, but I was here.
We were here.
It's a nice ride.
Yeah.
Well, I need to go back for my name tag.
Yeah, I have it right under there. It's super solid.
Yeah. And so, good show at the end.
We're about to switch off, so. Yeah. Do you have like a be right back screen or something? Do you have like a be right back screen or ads that you can cut to?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good show for this grand finals.
After we do our closing, but yeah, you were saying?
Yeah, good show for this grand finals. You know, just like a crazy 3-0 for the first set, and then a back and forth for the second set from 2 very different but very good doubles teams.
Yeah.
You know, and then just this entire top 8. I gotta see a lot of things. Listen, I'm not good at doubles. Not because I'm I'm decent at doubles. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And getting to watch this, I feel like I'm able to see more, which lets me appreciate more of like what's going on.
Oh, 100%.
And it also helps to have someone next to me that can be like, hey, watch that side of the screen.
Oh, you flatter me. You flatter me too much. But it was great commentating this top 8 with you.
Yeah,
and let's go ahead and send it off to a quick break, as we're going to have singles action next. Doubles is done and over with. So stay tuned, everybody. This is Big M and Zen. We're signing out, but you guys stay tuned.
See you later.